Hi guys, Dr. Mandi here from Chiropractic, and today we're going to talk about what to bring and what not to bring as far as when you're going into labor and going into the hospital. So first we're going to talk about what to bring. So some of these is just kind of personal preference as well, based on with having two kids, what I found is more comfortable for me, and some things I do highly recommend on their own. So the first thing we're going to talk about is having your own gown or your own robe. So again, this is personal preference. Yes, they do have hospital gowns there. I just personally find that they're a little more uncomfortable and itchy, and I just wanted to be as comfortable as possible. So I had my own little gown. It was a nice wrap gown that I was more comfortable moving around in. And especially with hospital gowns, and they have the back open, the one I had wrapped all the way around, so I didn't feel uncomfortable walking around in the hallways. Another thing you want to have is your own fuzzy socks and your own slippers. So hospitals tend to run a little colder, so if you do get cold feet very, very easily, having fuzzy socks in bed is very nice and comfortable. And then having your own slippers to where you can walk around in the hallway a lot easier too. Now, if you do want to walk and you don't have slippers, they will give you the non-stick socks, but I prefer my own slippers as well. The next thing I recommend is having your own pillow and your own blanket. Again, this is kind of personal preference as far as I go. This was the first time I stayed at the hospital when I gave birth to my kids, and I wanted as much of my home life to be in the hospital with me to kind of get my anxiety to go down. So I had my own pillow, my own blanket, and that helped quite a bit. Now, I also recommend it for your spouse, your partner, your parents, whoever else is in the room for you, especially with our hospital here in town. The pillows are very thin, so they're not very comfortable, and my husband would have preferred to have his own pillow in the hospital. Another thing I highly recommend is having comfortable clothes after giving birth. So you don't want to have anything skin tight or jeans or anything like that, because you want to be as comfortable as possible, because you will be moving around some, but you will be laying around a lot as well. Another thing I recommend is having your own nursing bra or tank top. Now, if you don't choose to breastfeed, that's fine, but you never know if you might change your mind in the hospital. So having that helps make breastfeeding and everything a lot easier to have that. Another thing would be your own slip-on shoes. So when you go into the hospital, regardless if it's an induction, if you're going naturally, if you're having a C-section, if you want a natural birth and no medication, you don't always know how birth is going to go and how things are going to plan out. So you want to have shoes for when you go home that can accommodate for the swelling if your feet are swollen. So again, for instance, with mine, my first birth, I wore tennis shoes going into the hospital. However, my feet were so swollen going out that I couldn't even fit my feet into my tennis shoes, so I had to wear my slippers home, which was not a big deal, but I learned my lesson the second time. You also want to bring your own toiletries, so your own shampoo, your own conditioner, all of that. Again, they provide that stuff, but I prefer to have my own. Now, this just might be our hospital here in town, but I recommend bringing your own bath towel. So the towels here at the hospital, they tend to be a little bit smaller, and I just like to have that big comfy towel whenever I get out of the shower, and the ones here don't exactly wrap around the body, so having a bigger towel is nice and comfortable too. Now, as far as what you need is for a baby, so you don't really need much, to be completely honest. So the one thing I recommend is clothes for baby. So obviously, if you're gonna have to take them home in an outfit, but if you wanted to do like newborn pictures or anything like that, you wanna have those clothes as well. And the other thing, if you choose to do a baby book. So when they're in the hospital, they will get their feet stamped for their birth certificates, and if you ask and you have your baby book, they'll stamp your baby book for you as well, so you don't have to worry about doing that later. Now, as far as your entertainment, they do obviously have TVs and everything in the room. You can bring a Fire Stick, a laptop, your own music, anything like that to keep you entertained. If you're wanting to do a natural birth, I recommend having like a playlist on your phone as far as music that kind of helps calm you down to get you through the birth. Now, this is a big one a lot of people don't think about. So regardless if it's your spouse, your partner, your parents, whoever is in the room with you, bring medication that they need. So say they get a lot of allergies, they need allergy medication, or they have migraines, even something as simple as like Tylenol or ibuprofen, because they're not the patient, they don't get it. So if they get a headache and they need something, they can't give it to them in the hospital. So have anything just to be on the safe side, because again, you don't know how long you're going to be there for. You'll also want to bring a phone charger, because again, you have no clue how long you're going to be there and you don't want your phone to die. And the last thing would be cash. So again, this might just be our hospital here. When you're in the hospital giving birth, obviously you as the mother get free meals. However, your spouse or partner or whoever's in the room with you does not. So there is the cafeteria not too far away in our hospital here. However, they can order food to their room, but they just have to pay it in cash. So it's kind of nice to have a little cash on hand. Now, as far as what not to bring, this list is a lot smaller. So you don't want to bring a regular bra. Again, regardless if you nurse or not, you are going to get milk come in. So you want a little bit more of a relaxing bra, the nursing bra, just to kind of accommodate for that growing breast size. For baby, you don't need to worry about bringing wipes or diapers. All of that is provided in the hospital. For you personally, you don't have to worry about bringing pads or tux pads or dermablast spray. All of that is provided in the hospital for you. When I was giving birth, I asked for as much extra stuff as I could to take home because they'll give it to you because you're already paying to be there, so you might as well get as much as you can while you're there. And the last thing you don't need to worry about is an exercise ball or the peanut ball. Those are usually provided in the room for you. So if you have any questions about what to bring, what not to bring, or anything regarding prenatal care or labor and delivery, give us a call at the office. Thank you.
The Drummond difference. The Drummond difference.